Hey, what's up people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desmond Z. If this is the first time you've ever seen me. At the end of last year, I made a video saying, oh, I'm excited about these upcoming 2023 book releases. I can't wait to read them. Blase, blase, blase. So, in that video, I have read quite a few of them. I won't say quite a few. I read a handful. I read a handful of them so far this year. And I'm just back. I'm just bringing that topic back to talk to y'all, to tell y'all how I feel about them right now. So let's just get into it. No long introduction. Let's just jump into it. So I said I was really excited for these books. I said I was hoping 5 stars. You know, some that would be at the tip top of my list at the end of the year or whatever. I just hope none of these let me down. I hope none of these let me down once I finally get to, you know, crack them open, because y'all know you can be excited for something and then you finally get your hands on it and it just ain't what it don't live up to the hype. Now I will give myself some grace. Because you know we have high hopes. That's all we can do in this life. The only thing we can do in this life is hope for the best. It's wish for great things in life. But no, all those things don't come true, because Mame, I was really looking forward to Mame. It could be another 5 star. It could be another 5 star. I thought they were just gonna give me all the things that I needed. But I told y'all in the previous video how I felt about that book. I did enjoy some aspects of this, but this was a letdown for me. Hello Beautiful. I was really excited about this because I read the author's other book, Dear Edward, and that's a book that had just continued to grow on me. My fondness for that book, those characters, has just grown over time, and that was a good book for me. So I was looking forward to her latest release. This was supposed to be an homage to the novel Little Women. This book is about a guy named William Waters who grew up in a house silenced by tragedy. His parents never really showed him any affection, any love, or whatever. And so in college he meets this girl named Julia. He meets this girl named Julia who has 3 other sisters. And over time, you know, they get together, they have a relationship or whatever, and he just becomes a part of the family. They welcome him into the fold until tragedy strikes and other family drama situations come up, and you know, their lives are never the same. Anne recently said in an interview that a lot of people will rate her books 1 stars because they say they are boring. Or I won't say a lot of people, but the people who do rate them 1 stars, she said, usually say because her books are boring and about nothing. Because she looks, she enjoys writing about like the person, the character, and who they are and why they do the things they do, and there's not a lot as far as like plot wise, any big moments. And I can say that's true, because with Dear Edward, you know, we had the big plane crash, and you know, his life was never the same after that, and you know, we're dealing with the after effects, whatever. But I still enjoyed that story, and there were enough moments in that kept me interested. This, however, I will say, let me preface by saying that there were moments, there was messiness in here, there was family drama, there was tragedy. There were those things that make a good book good. It was the in-between. It was too much of this. We yapping. We talking too much, and we going in circles. We talking about the same thing. How many times can I hear a person say, oh, I love my sister so much, we're the same person, we just, oh my God, I just love you, oh my God, I hate you, you get on my nerves, you don't understand me. How many times can we say that? This book, I have said this about a lot of books, this book could stand to be a good 70 pages shorter. If we'd have made this book like 300, just stop at 300, and taken out a lot of that filler, because that's what it was to me. Because in between the big moments, it was dry. And I read and listened to I physically read and listened to the audiobook at the same time, which is one of my favorite ways to consume a book. You should try it. It's great. It was during that time is when I was focused the most, because if I just listened or if I just physically read it, it was kind of taxing to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. And I've never read Little Women, so anything that was referenced to that outside of some of the characters actually name dropping the book, I would have never caught it. I don't know anything about it other than I do know it's about 4 sisters and some guy comes in, and that's all I know. So the survivalist, the survivor, sir, I'm a survivor. The survivalist. This is about a black lawyer in her 30s. I think she's right at 30. She meets this guy who's like a coffee maker. She eventually moves in with him and finds out his roommates are like doomsday people preparing for the big one, for the world to end. And, so that's how they live their lives. I forced myself to finish that book. I will say some positives. The author does have like a clever, witty way about her writing. And I did enjoy that. And the character was, she was semi-likable. I enjoyed her some. But it reached a point in the book where we were just doing dumb shit. It just went off the rails. And I mean, I feel like that's what you expect from a book that has that, synopsis to it about doomsday people or dating somebody, moving in with somebody whose roommates are doomsday people or whatever. But it's just, first of all, the main character was a horrible friend. Her and the boyfriend, like their whole rushed relationship, it just felt like it was doomed to begin with. That's what doomsday was. What if that was like the whole like metaphor and that's what it was actually about? Who knows? Maybe. Open your third eye. Who knows? But this book it just couldn't hold my attention. I felt like we were all over the place. Outside of those few moments where I was like, I laughed or I was invested, those were very far and few between. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I just felt like we were all over the place. It just needed to be more cohesive. I need to feel like you know where you're going. Even if I don't know where we're going, that's the thing. Look at me being analytical. Look at me being an analyzer, a reviewer. Even if I feel lost, even if I don't know where this will end up, I need to feel like you know where you're taking us. And I felt like the driver didn't know where we was going. So The Survivalist was a no for me as well. Will I tell you not to read it? No, because you may enjoy it, but it didn't do it for me. And I listened to the audiobook, and Bonnie Turpin is one of my favorite audiobook narrators, and she can make me pretty much enjoy almost anything. So I was really surprised that even her narration didn't make me enjoy it much more. So yeah, that's that. The Bandit Queens. This sounds like it'll be like funny, dark humor, but also, give you a life message, which, books are supposed to do. That's a DNF. I feel like I said I DNF'd it, but I was going to try to go back to it. I'm not going back to that book. I can't do it. I've tried. It's just not for me. It's not doing it for me. That's a letdown. That's just one I'm going to have to charge it to the game. I'm going to have to let that one go. It is what it is. I know this was not in that video I made last year about 2023 releases. But I did say that this is something that I wanted to read in March, and I had DNF'd this as well, but I was going to try and come back to it. This is a definite DNF as well. Won't be coming back to this, and I bought this for nothing, and I should have left it on the shelf. It's not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me. Switching the characters from the first one we were introduced to was the downfall of this book, and it never recovered for me, and I will not be reading the rest of this big-ass book. So sorry. Now, this was not in that video as well. I know I'm talking about, oh, this is supposed to be an update from that video, but we'll be all right. This was in one of my last videos where I said, oh, I had a small selection of books that I wanted to get through in March. Will I finish all of those at this point? I don't know. But anywho, The Fisherman. It's a group of siblings in Africa in their I don't want to just say in Africa, because I feel like people do that all the time. Oh, Africa this, Africa, like Africa is a whole continent. Oh, no, yeah. Okay, Nigeria, 1999. Okay, Nigeria. Okay, so it's about a group of siblings in Nigeria in the 90s. Specifically the four boys. I think there are more siblings, but we focus on like four of the boys. They're out in their village or whatever one day, and they run into this madman who tells the oldest, one of your other siblings, one day they'll kill you. I enjoyed this book. I was hoping it was going to be a 5-star. I said I feel like it's going to be a 5-star for me. I'm thinking The Fisherman is going to be a 5-star. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my spirit. It was not a 5-star, but I did still enjoy this book. Hold on, my lips dry. Moisturize them things. Okay, so this book was not a 5-star read for me, but yet and still, I enjoyed this immensely. I felt like at the end of this book, I cared about these characters. I wanted to know what was going to happen to them. I wanted to know where they were going. And the first half, I felt it could have been a DNF. I'm sorry. It was just like, I don't know. We're taking too long to get into the story. We need to speed this thing up. But the overall message, the overall theme of this book is what made this great. Because in life, sometimes people tell us things and we allow that to get into our heads. We allow that to take us off our path, and no matter how, big or small, the end goal or whatever. But we can see something clear as day and we know who we are and what we're looking for. And then someone will come in and say, oh, I feel like this is going to happen, or I feel like that is going to happen. You start worrying about that. You start worrying about that so much that you start making decisions that you would have never made before. You start doing things that you would have never done before. Come on, somebody, you don't hear me. You don't hear me. Oh, Shobala. It's like the entire trajectory of your life has now been changed simply because you listened to what somebody else said when things probably would have never even been that way. And that's the message I got from this book. It's like you became your own downfall because you listened to somebody else. And I was just like, wow. It's just like so many, like, that's a message that I know. That's a message that's been said to me over and over again. That's something that I've said to other people. But it's just crazy when it's applied to different situations. And it's just like, wow, you really let that happen. And the madman in this book, I thought he was just going to be like some office rocker guy in the town who everybody just kind of looked past because he said some crazy shit every now and then. Now, this man was vile. This man was disgusting. Like, he did some horrible things. Like, if you were easily triggered, you might, I don't know. I won't say don't read it, but be prepared. Because, yeah, this was a disgusting man. And he isn't like he isn't a main character, but he obviously has a big influence on these characters. So you don't have to worry about hearing about him on every page. But when we do focus on him, he's done some disgusting things. He's a horrible, evil person. And it's the latter half of this book that was really what made it. And I enjoyed, well, obviously I didn't enjoy hearing about what happened, but I enjoyed the story overall and the theme and the message. So I can't give this a 4. I feel like I've done that before. I've gave books 5 stars because I immensely enjoyed the last half, even though the first half kind of slugged for me. So my overall enjoyment and love for like the theme and the message or whatever would be a 5 star. But the actual book itself, that first half, it just, I don't know. So it brings it down to like a 3.5 or 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna be fair and give it a 4 because at the end of the day, I really did enjoy it, even though I kind of slugged through the first half. And so I'm thankful. I'm glad that I bought this book. From the beginning, I said that, I've mentioned it like 2 or 3 times now. I said that I was going to enjoy it, and I ended up enjoying it. So yeah, those are some of the ones from my 2023 anticipated reads video, and as well as one of the last ones I made saying, oh, I want to read these in March. I hope that the rest of my anticipated books, that I have on my list, treat me much better than most of these have. And that's it. That's all I have for y'all in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Share this video with a friend or somebody. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.